Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a very fun build. We are going to make a retail store that is on the higher end side. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Pooh. Please like and subscribe because it would help me a lot. So it's been a while since I uploaded. It's been like more than a year, except for my latest CC video. If you want to check that one out, I got some pretty CC in that video and everything is linked down below. But in this video, like I said, we are going to make a high-end retail store. I have to apologize instantly because while editing my video, I actually lost a part of the footage. So you're gonna see that we kind of skipped ahead a little bit and that we have windows, a door, some mannequins, and some curtains. You didn't miss a lot, it's just like a tiny little bit, and for the rest of the video we're good, so keep watching. So I was actually kind of struggling with this build because I've never done something like this before. I always made houses for like my Sims, but I never made like public spaces, so it was a struggle. I didn't really know how to do things and what to use. I missed the part where I was looking for windows, like that part got deleted. But it was a massive struggle because I didn't really know what windows to use, so I just went for some basic ones that would really show everything in the store so you could see like my mannequins, because that's what most clothing stores have. So I just went with what felt right. And then I also made like an upstairs for the store, but I actually didn't end up using it. It's just more like to make the build complete, but it's not gonna be furnished. I did put a stairs in the store at one point, but it was quickly deleted because I thought the store was good as it was, and I felt like a stairs wasn't going to fit in the store. I just wanted to make it like a smaller boutique, you know? And then it was time to choose some windows for the upstairs. I was kind of struggling what windows to choose from, but I actually ended up using just the same as below because I liked the way that looked. Off camera, I did some landscaping and I also added some curtains to the upstairs windows so you can't look inside. So then I did like a bit of the exterior, like added some more windows above the door, and I was also thinking about what I wanted to do at the front of the store, like put some like planting boxes or some flowers. I wasn't really sure about it. I was taking this fence and like trying to make something out of it, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I just got rid of it. And I just ended up for going something more simple, but you will see that later in the video. As I am making this build, you're going to see that it gets really messy and that I add a lot of stuff, that just stuff I find, items I find that I want to use inside or outside, and I just put them all inside so I can find them later again. So it gets really messy, but at some point in the video I decide to like make it more clear when I start the interior, and I'm just gonna move everything outside so I got the space to work with. And I wanted the build to look like really bright in the dark, so I did add some lanterns that I really like the look of. It's giving me a bit of French vibes. I think I went for like a French boutique, you know, that like in Paris. And here you can see I am, like I said, adding the items I want to use and just put them all inside, all the clothing items I could find, so I could find them just later again when I was doing the interior. So it's just all over the place. Like at one point I was so overwhelmed by how I was building, so I really don't recommend this. Next time I would just put everything outside because when I was doing the interior, it was just too much to deal with. Like everything was everywhere. Then I just added some lighting just so I could see. This is not like the final lighting I'm gonna use, but I just love these lights because they're so bright and they make it so I can really see inside. And then I was trying to find something to put on the floor, like some kind of stone at the entrance. It was kind of hard. Like this build was so hard. Like I said I was struggling quite a few times now, but I actually was really struggling in this build. Like I really didn't know what to use for like a store, you know. I'm so used to like building these houses for my Sims. It's a lot easier than like doing a public build. And I also made the railing of the stairs black because I felt like there was too much white going on and I felt like I needed some contrast. I also made like the windows a grayish color. It's not really visible that it's not like really white. It's like more like an off-white. I just felt like there was so much white going on that it kind of needed something else, you know? So I'm also doing that with the planter boxes. I'm making like the little thing where they're in, like the vase. I made it gray. And I also added this purple rug. And then I was just going through all the items, all the decorations, and just putting them everywhere, seeing what goes, what didn't go, and just experimenting with stuff, really just putting everything together so I could use it at some point in the build. And then I had the idea to make like this little platform where I was going to put some mannequins on, so as like a display in the store. And I was kind of experimenting with what I was going to put there and trying to make it work, but I ended up going for like one mannequin, like a female, and then 2 child mannequins. I wasn't really sure what I was going to put on there with them. I was thinking about like a side table or some plants, but eventually I ended up putting 2 side tables next to the platform instead of like on the platform because I thought that looked better. So here I'm just looking around in the stuff that I wanted to use. I was looking for some kind of mirror or some poster that I could hang up behind the mannequin. Like there's just so much choice, and eventually I just went for this like CC poster. I really liked it. It really belongs in a fashion store, I feel like. So then I moved on to one of the walls and I wanted to put a lot of closets there so I could use all the clothing that I scattered together and hang them up. It was kind of a struggle, not really a struggle, it was more like a puzzle that I had to make them all fit together. I used the one from Dream Home Decorator because I really like how they fit together. I was still looking at all the other options I still had for putting the clothing on, but eventually I did end up using only the ones from Dream Home Decorator on this wall because it makes it like one big piece. And I feel like if I would have used all kinds of different ones, it wouldn't be cohesive. Then I went back to my platform because obviously it wasn't finished yet. So as I said, here I am adding my mannequins. I did a male or like a boy and a girl, and then a female mannequin, and then I was putting some flowers on it to see what I wanted to do with it. Then I was looking for some flooring that I could add on top of it. I ended up going for some white, like these stones, because I really liked it. You can see when I'm building, I'm literally all over the place. I went from my wall to my mannequin on the platform, back to my wall. And actually here I am finishing this wall. Like I'm putting everything on the hangers. I'm putting all the closets there. I had to put a lot of clothing pieces one by one and then like get them upwards so they would fit on the hanger. So that took quite some time to get that together and to get all the decorations inside of the little closets. So I think this took like most of the time of my build. It was very tedious, but I finished it and I'm quite happy with the result that I made in that part. So as you can see, I put all the stuff that was inside, I put it a little outside because it was getting on my nerves. It was way too messy and I really couldn't see what I was doing. And especially for this part, I needed some space to work because I felt like this was one of the most important parts of my build. So this had to be good. And as I said earlier, it took the most of my time. So I really wanted it to be good because that's like the most of the retail part of this build, you know, like all the clothing that people can buy. I wanted it to look really good because for me that was the most important part. So yeah, it was really a puzzle. I really tried different things. I even tried to put this closet in. I don't know why, because it's not cohesive with the other like closets. So I ended up deleting it. I tried other closets that fitted with the big one that I used, but eventually I was like, nah, the dream home decorator ones is like the one that fits best in the store. And then as I said before, I was trying to put in the stairs, but I ended up deleting the stairs because I felt like it didn't really fit into the store that I made. But then I ended up making like a dressing room there. It was also kind of looking at what was working in the store, like what would fit there. I tried making like 2 dressing rooms or fitting rooms, but I ended up making just one big one basically, so I could fit like a mirror and a little chair to sit on. And for that I used like this big curtain. I also tried to like make a round fitting room because I felt like that was really pretty in the corner, but Sims was getting difficult and it wasn't listening to what I wanted, so that plan wasn't working. So I just ended up with like one larger fitting room with these beautiful beige, like pink brownish color. And yeah, that's the fitting room that I made. So then it was time to choose the flooring that I wanted. I wanted something classy, so I just went with this wood on the floor. It has a name, I don't know the English name, apologies, but you know what I mean. Then I was like against the dressing room, I put like these 2 closets with more clothing. I think it's male clothing that's in there, but also female clothing. And then I decided to put the mannequins on these little tables, but I did end up changing the tables. Then at the front door, I did end up using these tables and I put all kinds of accessories on it and some shoes. I also put some more accessories on the wall with all the clothing because I felt like it wasn't cluttered enough. So then I just ended up doing like putting flowers and all these other little things, so when you come in you have a really pretty view. And then I also did put up some wall art everywhere. And then I decided to get this vanity, and I put like some little things on it, like these macaroons. And also whenever I found something that I could more like clutter even more, I put it everywhere where I could. I also got these CC glasses of champagne that I think was a really nice thing to add because it had like the same color as the little table, the side table that I used. And these are the little stands I ended up using for the mannequins because I felt like they looked really good together. And of course I did end up like continuing on my vanity table because I wanted to be cluttered as possible. I also have these CC that you can put on at the front of the store that I really like as if it's the name in big letters. And then I put in like a carpet because I felt like that's the one thing that it was missing. And of course I need like a cash register, so then I was kind of improvising how I was gonna do that. So I just used these kitchen counters, and then I took like a cash register. I can't pronounce it for the love of God. And I don't know if that one is CC because Get to Work, there's also a cash register, so maybe it's that one, but I do have some CC of it as well. And now it's time for the final result. Hope you liked it.